and they still valued it very, very highly. So I'm curious to see what kind of strategy they bring to the table here that makes it that's going to make it look good. I'm very skeptical personally, so I hope they do a good job. Or, I mean, if Brood loses horribly, I think a lot of people will be happy with that too.
Be very relieved that
not a fan favorite hero necessarily. And for Tundra, one of the biggest winners of the patch, I think actually the single biggest winner of the patch in terms of percentage win rate and Divine Plus is actually Lycan.
Okay.
So not too surprised to see that grabbed here. It might get a little bit of action. I don't think Thunder Predator want to go back up here.
No, they're just going to poke back and forth a little bit.
So, yeah, very much a clash of styles. Like Effie was saying, Thunder Predator sticking to some of the very strong heroes of the previous patch, whereas Tundra are bringing out a lot of the buffed stuff. I also think Shaker is going to see a lot more play now. A lot of really, especially his new talents are just feel-good talents. You get fissure damage on level 10, you get aftershock damage on level 15. So no matter what role you play this hero in, those just feel amazing to get because it's just guaranteed more teamfight impact no matter which way you go about it. And then 5 Omni. Like what's not to like about this? Very interesting. Let's see how the lanes go.
Yeah, and I mean, you're seeing some stuff that are kind of comfort picks coming out from both teams here. Of course, you know, 9 on his Void Spirit, Snaking on a Shaker, Leostyle on Kunkka and whatnot. What's kind of interesting to me as well is the fact that SA, you know, that's sort of my specialty, is the fact that they don't usually follow meta, like super hard usually. Like they might pick up things here or there, especially if they get the chance to play internationally on LAN. You start to see them doing a slightly different flavor. But a lot of the times, because they don't go strictly on meta or they find something a little bit different, it usually ends up working in their favor.
Right. It's definitely, I would say, just on international events in particular, I think a lot of the times the SA teams grab upset wins or upset series just flat out because other teams have like no experience playing against the strategies. But that doesn't really feel like that's going to be the case here, right? This time, in a way, they're off meta by picking the old meta.
Yes, that's true.
But this should still be in relatively recent memory for Tundra, like how these strategies work, what they're aiming for. Brood, Terrorblade, like Effie pointed out, very, very standard picks. But we'll see. Like, if anything, Tundra might get surprised by how these heroes fare in this new patch. They might have a totally different read on how weak they are. Like, the win rates obviously speak for themselves, but what's very interesting about Pro Dota is that heroes that can be very bad in pubs or have low win rates can still look incredible in the right conditions. So you can absolutely still make a Brood first pick work if you know exactly what you're doing. Curious to see if Frank can pull that off. So far in the lane stage, he is suffering. Brood Rubik, a very weak lane. Omni Gyro should easily get an advantage here in the beginning, as they are. Gyro sitting on 8-3 against Brood's 4-1. Moose actually mistiming the Fade Bolt there onto the range creep, so going to lose that one as well.
Do you think we're going to see a different kind of build coming out for this Broodmother? Because like you said, you kind of got dumpstered, and so how do you offset this? How do you adjust?
I don't really have the answer for that. I don't know. And that's what's so beautiful about these new patches when they happen, is that people that are first to innovate and rethink heroes might get a good idea or two. In my opinion, just looking across Brood's changes, the hero just flat out just looks worse except for the new Ags, which could be really interesting. So maybe you can go that route. I don't know if there's a Brood build where you go the new Helm of the Overlord, perhaps, if that's a possibility, because you can upgrade you can go like some sort of Helm of the Dominator Vlad's upgrade and just really play on the summoning and just overwhelming style together with this Terrorblade strategy. I don't know if that's a possibility. Maybe you go full utility with like Solar Crest for TB. It is theoretically a good Orchid game, right? You're against Omni and Void Spirit. But offlane Broods sometimes have a very hard time finding that gold at the right timing. Nice harass from Leostyle mid onto 9, by the way. A very Kunkka favored lane here. And he's winning it as he should be. 18-5 against 11-3. Just constantly harassing 9 with the Tidebringer.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like Aura carriers really got a really nice buff this patch, so perhaps we'll be seeing more of the Aura. But like you said, you know, it does look like a nice Orchid game, but how are you going to get that sort of farm if you're going for, you know, more Aura-built utility sort of deals?
Right. It's either or. You can't go both the Auras and then get a late Orchid. And I think if you go Orchid first, following up with Auras just feels like then you're missing the Auras timing, right? So
It'd be too risky, you think, to just go with the Orchid, do you think?
I'm not sure. Like, it depends how farmed he gets in the first 10 minutes. I think Orchid is a very delicate item on Brood, where a 5-minute difference is just the world for this item, because you really need to get immediate payoff with key kills or zone control, where other heroes can't invade against you anymore. With this start he's having so far, I don't know if it's a realistic pickup. Actually, decent damage into Skitter up top here.
Well, they've got plenty of burst, though, but Skitter absolutely fine. Just going to go right back underneath his tower. And Omni Knight, of course, has a salve to bring him right back up again.
Yep. Primary change to Omni Knight this patch is the better Heavenly Grace. It gives more strength on the higher levels. It's the same on level 1, but scales better after that. And then he got a change to Shard, which I still don't think we're going to see. This Shard is kind of weird. I feel like it's difficult to find play for it. It's more of an anti-carry thing now. Beforehand, it was something for core Omni to use for himself. And now it puts a 60% damage reduction on the target for 4 seconds when you hit them with that Hammer of Purity. So perhaps, but the problem is, if you're buying this as support Omni, like in theory, it might be nice, right? Oh, I'm a support and I can stop the enemy carry from doing much damage for 4 seconds, but you're compromising position to use this. If it was a ranged ability, all of a sudden it would be really cool, but has to go and hit Leo style with the X mark. Fata is in big trouble.
Yeah, Fata is now dead, so went to go steal up that bounty rune and ends up paying for it with his life.
Good start for Thunder Predator, getting that first blood. They would be very happy to see just the net worth breakdown right now. Terrorblade and Kunkka big breadwinners right now, and Brutus actually tied with Lycan, which I was not expecting. 33, an excellent Lycan player, and I wouldn't imagine this lane would be extremely hard for him. The Mars can be annoying for the Wolves with the God's Rebuke, but despite that, I did think they were going to have a slightly better time here in the bottom lane, but they've been really shutting them down nicely with this TB Mars.
Yeah, they're also able, though, to at least take the Wolves, try to drag the lane over,
right.
Have those creeps that way for a little bit more safety. But on the flip side of that, that also means that, you know, MNZ is allowed a little bit more breathing room to be able to go and hit the creeps and not be as harassed.
Absolutely, yeah. Terrorblade is going to have a wonderful time in this game. You can't pressure TP with Shaker Lycan. You just have to try to get your own. But yeah, their own is just not very much, right? 17 on Lycan to the 40 of Terrorblade.
Yeah.
And this is one of the downfalls of Shaker, and why he hasn't been very popular in the previous patch either, is that he just offers very little in lane. Usually you see this hero paired with a ranged hero so that you can use the fissure as a blocking tool and then run heroes down. But it's hard for him to even pull waves in this game against Mars, because he can always just spear him away, just be annoying, has a lot of damage, slow. So, yeah. Perhaps not the best lane partner for Snake in here.
Running on up. I think he really would like to get the kill on Skeeter, but he's going to have to deal with just helping out and getting Frank a kill on Fata instead. Oh, they get a nice kill on that courier, though, as they take out the Blade of Alacrity. Surprised that they didn't back sooner. They had vision over on the side. They would have seen Leo style making that rotation top with the haste rune.
Yeah, maybe they realized it too late. And even if you do realize it as Omni Knight, I think Fata dying here to shield his gyro and just let him continue to be relatively effective is probably better than them both just hiding in tower for half a minute and losing 2 waves. Maybe it's better to just honestly just take the death and be done with it.
Well, they are being very, very aggressive here. They're just trying to push through the jungle, put some pressure on Fata, keep an eye on any stacks that might be created here. But this is going to give the Broodmother a lot of breathing room.
Absolutely. I think I like Frank's build here. He's planning on going pipe, it looks like, or at the very least a hood early. There's a lot of magic damage coming through from the Dire lineup. Void Spirit is primarily magic damage, or at least largely early in the game. There's a lot of magic damage from Gyro, Shaker, and it tells me that they're aiming for this mid-game timing where they want to pipe up all of the Broodmother Spiderlings, they want to pipe up the Terrorblade Illusions. In case anyone could forget, there was actually a build Envy did many years ago where he went pipe on Terrorblade just to protect his illusions for against specific magic damage lineups, and it was kind of laughed at the time.
It always is, though. If you ever notice with Envy, they're always like,
right.
What? And then it turns out to be something that...
You can say a lot about the guy, but he thinks very creatively and differently about Dota. And it makes for great moments, and it makes for real facepalm moments, and that's very entertaining. But the main point is the idea of protecting your Terrorblade illusions is really powerful. And when your offlaner can do that for you as TB, and you can start building up these stat items quickly, like you know the standard Mantis Gotti or Sanjin Yasha, these illusions are going to be hard for the Dire lineup to kill. They don't actually have very good heroes against it. They're trying to dive in bot though, MNZ.
It doesn't look like anybody is trying to come to his aid here, but he's gonna move around. 9 looking for the opening with the Remnant. Should be able to use the Dissimilate, and they'll get the kill on MNZ.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
But there's plenty of pressure being placed on the top tower here as well, so looks like it's gonna be a bit of a tower trade, and it will open up both sides of the maps.
Tower is under attack.
Yep, considering how the lanes have gone so far, I think this is pretty expectable. Oh, hang on.
I mean, Fata is here. He can protect him for a good point. And Snaking also has made this rotation. So it looks like Moose is going to get stunned. They're still hunting through, though. Nice spear over onto the side. They're going to look to see if they can take down Snaking, and it looks like they'll be able to pretty easily. Look at Leostyle. He really wants this kill, but he just doesn't quite have that vision. A little bit off the mark with the Torrent, but the aggression coming out from Thunder Predator. This is SA Dota at its finest.
Yeah, Tundra need to evacuate this area. I think their lineup does not deal very well with Brood right now. It will eventually have better solutions when Gyro gets farmed and when Shaker gets some levels. But right now, the Brood is just overpowering them up here. After the early good laning stage they had, Leostyle really broke things up and kind of forced them on the back foot. I think you start playing your bottom area triangle, you start maybe playing the bottom area in general on the Gyrocopter, ward up down there and swap the map around. You did take the tower. And it's kind of expected here, right? Brood gets level 6, starts pushing the top tower. Lycan gets level 6, gets one gank bot, you dive and you take that tower. So pretty straightforward stuff. But great advantage built so far by Thunder Predator.
Is he going to die underneath his own tower? No. Okay, good spear away with the X, just for extra safety. Aggression coming out from 9 here, hoping that perhaps he could have gotten a nice pick off. Get a steal here from the Rubik.
Dire's top tower.
As it looks like they've had enough with playing here, they're just going to back off.
Looking for the next play for both teams. So usually what Brood does now is it builds a house top, right? It just starts living here for a while. And the other 4 heroes will either play together on the opposite side of the Brood, or they will sometimes connect with it. Oh, MJZ is...
They're playing with their food, I guess? He's
nice
he
there.
Stuff already drops the arena. The X comes out. Oh my goodness, the steal with the display just got right back. And again, can they finish off 9? That was the question. He wants to finish off MJZ. He's just not quite over to the side. Fissure comes out, the stolen Fissure from Moose. Eventually, MJZ does fall, but boy, do they make them work for it.
That was such a hard kill, somehow. If only he had mana after he got the arena out, they might have actually killed the Void Spirit, but he couldn't spear. And Moose will get Fissure here just on the end.
Good Fissure.
That kill on 33. So a couple of good kills here for Tundra, bringing them back to close to 0 gold. They were 3k ahead a moment ago, but these couple kills help out a great deal. Want to talk a little bit about Lycan's build. So this is a hero that hasn't been popular for a while. And I was wondering, are we going to see him go for the Aura style with this Helm of the Dominator upgrade? And it does seem like that is indeed going to be the case. 33 aiming for the Helm of the Overlord here. And I'm curious to see it in play. Obviously allows him to take over creep and makes it way stronger. It combines with that Vlad's for a very strong mid-game centric item. However, their lineup doesn't really have that many heroes that really benefit from it, right? You don't have like these classic zoo lineups, so to speak, where you just have a lot of units or very, very strong mid-game heroes. Gyrocopter's all right, I think. But it's not fully traditional. So I'm very curious to see how big of an impact we're going to feel from this.
Yeah, it's not unlocking it to its full potential. Like, the idea is good, and also the item, obviously, everyone has been talking about it. But it's not a situation where the lineup is like, oh my god, this is too good.
Right. So I'm just making sure this item was not, it still allows you to take an ancient creep, right? You can take any creep, I think.
I believe it had 2 originally, right?
Originally had 2, now it got changed to 1, but you can still dominate Ancients, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, because that's pretty important. If you can dominate Ancients, you can get the Frenzy creep for Gyro. Give him a lot more damage. You can obviously just, I mean, the Ancients are all good, right? The flat HP bonus, the Golem, or you can get the Fireball, and the Armor Aura. Plenty of good choices there. MJZ, you're very dead.
Very dead indeed. They were shredding through a lot of those spiders, though. I expect a spider count from the observers. Oh, thank you. They even had it prepared. Look at that. Perfect. Reading my mind. But
I'll get there. Important thing about this kill is they're maintaining a bit of a foothold in their jungle. I thought Tundra were going to swap map halves, but they are trying to to maintain some sort of control top. And I think part of the reason is they want to give Shaker this dagger top. He's currently taking the top lane. He will more than likely die here, though. Leo Styles got him. He's in
Yeah, and the rest of the
trouble.
crew is hot on his heels as well. So there's the axe, there's the boat, moves with the Fade Bolt. Fata, though, comes in handy here. We'll be able to keep Snaking alive just a little bit longer. And in fact, it looks like they're going to back off. So very good positioning coming out from this Omni Knight to keep the Shaker alive and keep the dreams of that Blink Dagger still just functioning here. Skeeter does have to be a little careful. These babies are getting shredded, though. Frank gets a little bit too close with that flat cannon. It does get stunned. He's got the homing missile on him, and it'll bonk eventually. Moose can't do a whole heck of a lot here, so Frank probably on his own as he just keeps dropping webs and keeps crawling away.
Yeah, you just look at the game, right? The progression of it. The Terrorblade just keeps pulling further and further ahead. Obviously, the big hero for Thunder Predator's strategy here is very much thriving under these conditions. And what Tundra are getting as their trade-off is basically free farm on Lycan. He's just playing the bottom half as he wants. So you would imagine that a key part of the strategy for them is getting that Helm of the Overlord, and then as soon as they have that, maybe look for a smoke into Roshan, or you're looking for a key team fight before Terrorblade gets too big. Because again, I don't really know how good they are at dealing with a big TB this game. Like, majority of their damage come late game is going to be very physical in nature with Lycan and Gyro. It's magical for now, but 15, 20 minutes down the line, that's just not going to cut it. And this Terrorblade isn't on his own, by the way. He has Ghost Ship. He has some very good defensive supporting cast between the Rubik and the Mars to protect him. So, going to be interesting to see. Here comes the Fireball. Yeah. You can farm a hell of a lot with this item, because the creep you get with Helm of the Overlord has so absurdly much damage. Look at this dragon's stats right now. It's actually incredible.
Well, I'll take a look in just a second, but this is looking like Moose maybe stepped up just a bit too far. Purify, oh, he's still alive, but no.
Oh, they
echoed for it. And they'll just draw Snaking right back in again. X marks the spot. They've got the boat, they've got Metamorphosis, and they're just going to chase him down.
Ooh. Wasting the GA there as well. The spear was actually necessary for that kill because of GA. But that is a very big spell in general in this game. It's their best tool against the Terrorblade for survival in teamfights. And now with that out of play, I think Thunder Predator are going to look for maybe more than just this tower. We'll see. There's a double damage top. They could go Roche.
Oh, Skeeter's taking a decent chunk of damage. Fata forced to use the Purification. Nine is going to have to dodge away. So a little bit of a whiff here with this, and they'll follow up again. They've got the Helm of the Overlord on, and he's just chasing down for MJZ. With Ola on it, the jump forward from Nine. Not a lot of mana left. This will go for a call down. And they'll put their attention now over onto MNZ, who's just trying to go and just remove Fata from the game. And he is going to be able to do it. It's double kill now. 33 running away. Moose sitting a bit low, but like we said, they went for a tower and they got themselves a little bit more. And they go and they try to take down the dragon as well.
Yeah, and now they're going Roche because they found that double damage, I'm pretty sure. MNC's going to bottle it, use it immediately, so it's go time. They know there's no Shapeshift, they know there's no Guardian Angel, and they know there's no Echo Slam. So a couple of really key spells unavailable. This is free. Yeah. There's just nothing you can do about this as Tundra.
Especially with the, I mean, Nine's thinking about it.
He's thinking it, I guess.
He's cheeky. I'll try. But Leo Style, of course, in position already. He's just going to try to keep tabs on Nine. Doesn't want to allow him anywhere near this Roche. Just goes steps forward again, tries to get some information. Good fissure coming out here from Snay. A little discouraged, put a little damage over onto Frank. Doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of mana, but does, of course, have a soul ring. Needs to be careful he's not feeding all of those babies, though.
This is taking a bit longer for Thunder Predator than I thought it would, and it might actually end up backfiring now. Thought they were going to have more damage there between their heroes, especially with the double damage and TB, but obviously no meta.
The Yules, the draw in over onto Frank. Beautiful torrent, though, landing over onto two, followed with the Ghost Ship, and then they'll use an Arena as well. Frank somehow still alive after all is said and done here. MNZ, he's just chunking away over at Snaking. He'll find that kill. As the rest of Tundra, they don't want to take this anymore. They're trying to run away. The Heavenly Grace as well for the steal. They're going to try to take down Nine. Not going to be able to quite manage to finish him off. The buyback, though, coming out from the Earthshaker. He wants to be a part of this fight. MJZ, of course, he is a support Mars. He's going to get run down by these wolves over here on the side. And they'll split up the fight. The taunt coming in over onto MNZ. The Echo Slam comes off, and that is going to be a dead Terrorblade. Moose is trying to just juke around here into the pit. He's going to get chased down, though I don't believe he has much to be able to save himself. So it's a slow death here. Very, very cleanly done. And that Roche that a second ago was supposed to be a free Roche.
Yep.
Is now a free Roche for the other team.
That did not work out the way Thunder Predator wanted it to. And I think a decent chunk of the problem there was I think MJC just misclicked, or sorry, MNZ misclicked his Sunder. I think he Sundered a hero that had the same health as him, and he was next to I believe a full HP Lycan. So he was just missing that bit of tankiness in the fight, and also the damage on Lycan would have been great to get out. And that's costly right there. That's a big win for Tundra. And they really bide their time. They didn't like rush into the pit. They weren't like, uh-oh, they're doing Roche, let's just immediately just funnel in everything we have. They kind of played the outskirts a bit with the Void Spirit, made Thunder Predator think twice about it, and just that bit of delay was enough to get their full lineup in position in time and defend it. Doesn't look like it's going to dissuade them much, though. They're just going to go straight away again. Thunder Predator with a 3-hero smoke. One of them broke, though. On Kunkka, he just pushed out mid-wave. We're going to see a replay here.
Here we go.
So this is the moment. You see MNZ here dropping low. There's a full HP Lycan here, and now he's going to Sunder, I believe, 9.
9, yeah. I think he went for 33, like you said, and he just misclicked. That would have gone much differently if they
That would have made a big difference for sure.
Pressure being placed, though, down here on tier 2, coming out from Tundra. They're feeling pretty good right now. They do have the Ag Scepter completed over on Skeeter. You've got the pushing power coming out from 33. This tower is just going to melt.
Yep. Gyro is a very strong hero at this point in the game, when it has Ags +1 item and any defensive cast, in this case being the Omni Knight. Pretty difficult to deal with. He still loses any man fight to Terrorblade. That's just Terrorblade, you know. Like, you can't fight him head on, especially in meta. But if they set things up nicely and especially use their Shaker well, solutions do exist. Oh, a bit of miscommunication there.
Frank is going to be the one who gets found here. He's going to tank that gank. He gets stunned, and he's still alive, though. He's got the webs going. Fatally for the opening. 9 with that step forward. Frank tries to crawl away, but he gets squashed by 9.
He lived for a bit. Yeah, bit of miscommunication, but they had enough. They had Exus in the tank there, even though the stun overlap failed. Or, well, succeeded, depending on how you look at it. It was a perfect overlap. Not what they were going for. Man, look at this tower damage. Again, I'm going to be focusing on this item quite a bit because, you know, it is the new item on the block, and it's very interesting to watch. But obviously, so Helm of the Overlord, I believe, how much damage does it give to the creep? Is it +80, I think?
That's quite a bit.
Yes, 80 base damage on that dragon. So basically, playing with double damage the whole time compared to if you had what you might have been used to seeing with Chen taking an Ancient Creep, for example, makes for really good pushing power. And the move speed being set to, I believe, a flat 400. Also really nice if you're playing with, say, the Frenzy Creep, for example. It's very easy to stay on track with your carry and keep up. Has predominantly taken dragons so far, though. I think that was his 2nd dragon in the game. The aura, obviously, amazing against Terrorblade and Brood. Getting all that physical reduction is very nice for the whole team.
This gives you a nice advantage, especially like earlier on, just to be able to, you know, put the pressure on the towers and also just clear up the creep waves as well.
Right, and it's just hard to kill. It's just such
it's very tanky.
Right? He's taking 2 towers with this dragon, basically. Dragon and Wolves. That's classic 33 on his summon heroes. It's just tested and true for years now. He knows what he's doing.
Ooh, my finest creation. I like when we have these cams like this. My favorite is when you click on the dragon and he's got that very derpy face. That is always absolutely wonderful. Like, he's so big and scary. Like, look at that guy. Look at him.
Yeah, they never changed it. No. I don't know, the first thing I think when I see that face is always, like, goofy.
Yeah. Like, hey, guys, I'm here to hit the towers. I don't know why that sounded a little bit like
he's
Cossack,
actually taking the tier 3.
They need to go deal with
this.
I guess they think that perhaps getting a pick off on Skeeter is better, but they need to go. Like,
yeah,
this
base
tower.
is on fire, guys. Hello. This is not good. Now it got pinged.
Literally a nursery rhyme.
He's soloing.
I don't know, but Moose does get taunted, so it looks like this Rubik is going to be the first one to fall. As now they'll follow up with the X, with the boat. I'm going to try to take down this Lycan and try to hold it into place. And they have a beautiful just arena, but like you said, the GA coming in play here. Next down goes MJZ. 33, though, this Scotty is doing a lot of work, but they have to be careful because they have the fissure, and they should be able to just stun up MNZ. The Echo comes out. He's not able to do anything here as Leostyle forced to BKB, forced to teleport home, and he almost does not make it. As, again, the creeps are just destroying their base. This is not the way you want to lose a game of Dota.
Dragon got a whole it took
I think the Dragon needs a tip at this point, not even 33. Like, look at this guy.
It took a tier 1, a tier 2,
Oh my
a tier
word.
3, and the barracks with a dragon and 2 wolves. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. What a great fight, by the way, from Tundra there. They did a great job, especially setting up the nice fissure combination. And finding Rubik first is really, really nice from 9. You want to take the Rubik out so you can't steal fissure and counterplay them that hard. And just slowly but steadily get ahead and win that fight. You know, as Thunder Predator in that situation, you've got to be stressed. Like, Moose is pinging this top wave, and they're still not going back. Then you have to fight immediately. And imagine, even if they won the fight, they were still lost lane of barracks. And this is probably just some inexperience, right? They don't know what to expect. They don't know how dangerous this dragon is. It's like all of your experience from the past, you're just thinking, oh, this is how it usually goes. That's not how it goes anymore. That dragon would not have soloed the barracks last patch. That's pretty damn sure. And now he's just bumping it up as much as he can. Drum plus Kyrus.
Can we talk about the fact that some of these towers are being taken without a hero ever touching them?
Yes.
That just seems way too strong to me.
Building damage.
Like, look at that. And that's not even him necessarily hitting it. It's just his minions.
That is dirty. And he's doing it while being a part of the game outside of it,
That's
right? Like,
insane.
sometimes you have Lycans that are just split pushing and taking towers, and that's their contribution to the game. He's also in the fights, so he's doing both at once. Of course, taking the Wolves damage on level 10, a very strong talent to have now. And then he actually chose the Wolves' health over Shapeshift cooldown. Very interesting. Just really opting to focus on those.
I mean, his team is doing all the work here. He doesn't even need to be here. He's just got the wolves, he's got the dragon. Doesn't have to be careful he doesn't feed it.
Got his gang.
M&Z just chasing the dragon. And you never catch the dragon, M&Z.
Oh, got the Scotty proc. Man, this is taking a while.
This is taking so long.
You'll get it.
He's trying to body block as well with this.
Oh no, he got blocked by the creeps. It might actually live here. The Scotty runs out.
Oh my word. He's gonna live to fight another day.
22 region on it. Damn, we're talking about this dragon a lot, but it honestly has kind of been the biggest player.
It hasn't been this popular since, you know, Game of Thrones at this point. Like, it's all about the dragon.
Yeah, Thunder Predator kind of forgot about the dragon.
Look how fast he's regenning the health. Dear Lord. I can't wait for Jenkins to make a video out of this at some point, because you know he is. Looks like they're going to try to get a gank off, though. And Z needs to be careful. He's being fissured, being held into place. Oh, no! Snaking just not close enough here.
He got hit by, I think, Spiderling.
That's possible.
Maybe. Well, that would have been a nice follow-up. I think they could have got the kill there, but yeah, just didn't quite manage in that instance. Obviously, 9 showing off his freshly purchased Dagon, looking for that kill.
Yeah, they've got the vision over here. The Yule's coming out. Fata and Snaking, of course, making their way over, and you can't Sunder if you are just being locked down. Leo style here. Already they've lost moves. He's got the BKB. Look at the damage, though. Again, so close. And now MJZ left to his own devices here. Just one lone Mars against the world, and it's not going to be in it much longer because he is dead.
Yeah, as soon as the creep wave gets into the space, this is going to go very fast. Actually, Leo style in trouble.
Leo's just being chased all the way to his fountain at this point. By wolves, by a dragon, by 9. It's the dragon who gets the final hit off.
How fitting. Yeah, they're
feeling themselves here over on the side of Tundra. They're pretty happy.
Look at this pushing power. It's basically, I mean, this is classic Lycan. It's not like Lycan has never been able to push buildings before, but just having that extra damage on the creep and the extra damage on the wolves, it feels noticeable how quickly this is going. Last-ditch effort here from Thunder Predator. They're 4 on 5. No Rubik.
The immediate jump forward over onto MNZ. He cannot afford to die here, but they have all the lockdown. He's not going to be okay. He does manage to get the Sunder off. 9 now trying to run away. All the frames are dropping because there's just so much going on. The Guardian Angel comes out. 9 is absolutely fine. Dragon is still alive too, and he's just chunking away over on these buildings. How does Thunder Predator get in here? Your silence means that you don't think that they can, Sin. I don't know. I mean, now just dragging right back in over on moves with the fissure, with the flap. They're just ripping them apart now over on the side of Tundra. MNZ, he's trying. He's just doesn't know what he can really do here as he immediately gets jumped again. He's out of here. No buyback. And the game is over just like that.